Hi, everybody. Today is October 2nd, and happy Friday to you. I hope you're going to enjoy your fall break and do some fun things outside and enjoy the weather and drink some pumpkin spice and just take it easy and relax, okay? But today we're going to do an activity looking at real voices. So we are going to listen to parents and teens and hear about their relationship. And as the videos progress, it'll pause and ask you questions, okay? Let's see here. So as you read the videos, I want you to think about what can hurt a parent-teen relationship. Okay, so that's the focus of our video today. What can hurt a parent-teen relationship? And not only is this a good exercise for you as a teenager, but it's also a good exercise for you so that when you later down the road, if you choose to become a parent yourself, you can keep this sort of thing in mind, okay? So let's get going here. Here is the first video.
When I've come home from school or something, and I sit down, I flop on my bed, and my mom just walks in, and she's like, "Okay, you're gonna do this." So I'm like, "Okay," start the music. And I hear her mouth moving again, or I see her mouth moving again. So I stop it, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, what?" And okay, and then I go back to it, just end this, and it goes on for 10 minutes.
There are times when he needs to be challenged about his behavior or his language or something, and I'm just kind of done. I'm too tired, and I don't challenge him at that minute. I maybe take the easy way out and think, I'm going to speak to him about that later. And sometimes I let those moments pass, which I think, is hurtful because there's sometimes you have to be strong in those moments, and some of those moments pass me by.
Because, she just needs to tell me. She's like, okay, clean the bathroom, and then I'll clean it. But sometimes I forget. So, all she needs to really do is, tell me what to do, and then I'll do it. She doesn't need to be like, I can't believe you didn't do it, blah, 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 blah. All she needs to do is really, remind me.
When we're trying to explain something or just have a conversation with them or something, we kind of talk at them and not really talk to them and get the feedback we like to have from them, because by the time we've talked at them, they've kind of shut down.
When they say no to something that I want, but they don't really give me a reason, and I'm sure they have a reason, it's just they don't really give it to me, and that's kind of bothersome, because I don't really know. And if I ask for a reason, then I'm pestering, so...
That's been one of my challenges in dealing with kids, that I get angry too quickly, and so working on that.
I keep telling them that I'm not doing what they're assuming that I did. No matter how many times I say I'm not doing it, they just go back to doing it anyway. They go back to saying that I'm doing something that I know I'm not doing.
I think a little training from my job or the Marine Corps, I don't have a lot of patience sometimes, in that I'm kind of trained in an ask. I'll ask you to do something, and then I'm going to tell you to do something, and then I'm going to make you do something. So, unfortunately, the make it is yelling, and I'll yell at the kids a little bit too much, too fast sometimes.
Respect is kind of a big thing, and she gives me a lot of freedom and lets me do what I want, but if I wasn't respectful or if I was ungrateful, then I think that would probably be a big thing.
My husband came along. I don't want to say disagreed, but he helped me see the better way. And he's like, Amy, you need to be the mother, but you need to also let them learn to live on their own, learn to, if there's conflict, when Jillian had conflict with her father, I wanted to be here. I wanted to be the one that she could run to and stay. And my husband's like, but then you are enabling her to not face conflict.
think a little training from my job or the Marine Corps, I don't have a lot of patience sometimes in that I'm kind of trained in an ask. I'll ask you to do something, and then I'm going to tell you to do something, and then I'm going to make you do something. So, unfortunately, the make is yelling, and I'll yell at the kids a little bit too much, too fast sometimes.
So what we're seeing here and what we're hearing from a lot of parents is they end up yelling more than they'd like. In this situation, in many situations, parents want their kids to do their chores when asked, and the kids drag their heels. This father does not want to yell, but actually the yelling is now serving a purpose to be the final pinch on the child so that the child will comply. So it's really an issue of compliance. So what this father wants to do is back up and say, now is yelling the best way to approach this, because it is so natural for children to drag their heels on chores. Why do children do that? Well, because they've had big, hard days, they feel burdened, and they can make their parent co-miserable by, okay, you're going to make me do the chores, and I'm going to make you miserable by my dragging the heels. And it kind of works. The child can't take away the allowance, can't, take away the car, can't put them in timeout, but they can drag their heels. And it does make us a bit crazy, so it's effective. And that's why chores end up to be one of the big power struggles and conflict points. This parent wants to maybe re-examine, is this the approach he wants to take for chores? One of the teenagers in one of the clips said, I do this with my mother, we yell about chores. She should just take my phone, ask me to do the chores, and then I get my phone back after I finish my chores. From the mouth of babes. Because that way, if the child knows the consequence is no media, no phone, they might be incentivized to actually do their chores. Right now, they're kind of incentivized to drag their heels because they get to kind of make the parent feel as miserable as they do. So I might talk about this with the father saying, are you sure you want the consequence for non-compliance to be yelling? How about you have a different consequence? How about you, for instance, say, let's make a deal. You get the chores done by 4:30 p.m., then you get your media back, or whatever the privilege will be, what's going to be the reward for compliance by 4:30. I'll give you one reminder. And then if it's not done by 4:30, consequence. I don't even have to yell. I don't have to nag. I don't have to whine. And then they shake hands and make a deal. But it's always best to make deals with teenagers saying, okay, that's a good deal. So we start with yelling. We back up and say, what's the goal? Then we back up and say, is that realistic? What might be more effective? And then we try to think of good, effective problem solving.
I keep telling them that I'm not doing that, what they're assuming that I did. I'm telling them that I'm not doing that, but no matter how many times I say I'm not doing it, they just go back to doing it anyway. To go back to saying that I'm doing something that I know I'm not doing.
Another thing is when they say no to something that I want, but they don't really give me a reason. And I'm sure they have a reason. It's just they don't really give it to me, and that's kind of bothersome because I don't really know. And like if I ask for a reason, then I'm pestering. So I just kind of have to drop it.
You can tell in these clips that these teenagers are resenting their parents for, in one, accusing him of doing things that he hasn't done, or in this one, that he feels pestered all the time by his parents. So if the parents even saw these clips, they probably know that they're not having an impact on their child in a positive way if this is the felt experience of the teenager. So the parents probably want to really ask the question, what is my goal, and am I achieving it, right? I might be reasonable, I might be right about having concerns about homework or his whereabouts, but if it's causing this much resentment and deteriorating the relationship this much, you're not being effective. So regroup, what's a different approach? One of my favorite quotes of Einstein is, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. The self-regulation part on the parents' end of things is really important. We get emotional, we're worried, we spend so much time in our emotional brain that we don't know how to calm down and then reach the thinking brain for problem solving. So that's why I have my CALM acronym, CALM. Calm your brain, calm down, assess your options. How might I go about improving my relationship with my child? Listen with empathy, always with bridge making to trying to make a better relationship. You want to start by saying, I've really been on your back lately. I know that I'm just a grievance to you right now and I want to reset, reboot. You don't want to start saying, but, I have every reason to be concerned about your schoolwork. Or you don't want to ever say but. You want to just be empathetic. So listen with empathy is the L. And then make an effective plan. What's realistic? How might I reach that goal? Do I want to crowdsource it? Ask my sister, ask the counselor, tell them my scenario. They might give me some new ideas that might help better, because I better do something new.
Okay, so now you're going to watch a few videos that show us how, I'm sorry. So as we watch the next two videos, think about what can actually help a parent-teen relationship. Okay, so the ones before we were thinking what could hurt a relationship. Now we want to think about what could help a relationship, the relationship between a parent and a teen.
Like, things I could do is, like, whenever, like, they make a decision or they, like, tell us something, like, I can just, like, go along with it, because they think if they think that's what's best for us, then I should agree, instead of arguing with them on why I think it's a bad idea.
I routinely tell him that I make mistakes all the time, and I think that helps with our relationship, because when you feel like somebody never messes up or they never acknowledge that they've done wrong, it's hard to kind of relate to them or feel close to them. So I feel like Ethan and I are able to talk about, those types of things, and it creates a closeness that's natural and it's not forced.
I think just things that we could do as a family that make us get along better would probably be just spending more time with each other. We have really busy days. We're gone for long periods of time without seeing each other, so we kind of lose appreciation for each other.
But it's really important to me. It always has been, but now more than ever, that I'm really present when when we are together.
Yeah, I think it's important to, be good in school and, be smart, but I also want to have a social life. So I really want, that balance, and I want to, I think I'm young, and, right now I don't have responsibility, so I should be able to, go out and stuff, but rather than going out, I'm at home, studying. Okay, if I were to do good in school, you let me go out, once a week or something like that.
I guess to make things better, just kind of put down a general set of guidelines for the things that we fight about more, so we stop fighting about them.
We're going through a major remodel. I wish I had more time to spend with my kids, just so I could draw that process out and teach them what I'm doing, as opposed to just getting it done.
Doing the laundry and doing the dishes and cleaning my room before they even say it. So I can go outside more and I can play more with my friends.
Some things that I can do to help us get along would be talk to her and explain to her how I'm feeling.
I need to slow down sometimes and just be present in the moment and let him tell me about his day, or let him tell me what he's feeling or how he's thinking, or tell me a story, what happened, so that I can hear him. I need to slow down sometimes and just be present in the moment and let him tell me about his day, or let him tell me what he's feeling or how he's thinking, or tell me a story, what happened, so that I can hear him.
The basic core of any positive relationship with a child in the parenting relationship is going to be positive relating. We always talk about secure attachment, and what that really means is a close and loving relationship with a reliable parental figure that you can count on that parent to have your back, understand, be there when you need that parent, and accepts you exactly as you are. So this parent articulated that very well. I need to slow down and just be with my child, not have an agenda to change or bring up something or solve some problem. Just be with that teenager and appreciate anything that she or he is going to want to present to me, and be with that in the present moment.
Okay, so your last question is, how did it feel to take a parent's perspective? Did you learn anything? How did it feel to take a parent's perspective? Did you learn anything?